Hello guys, welcome to MyFitnessPal show and tell, should we call it? So basically we're going to go through the basics of MyFitnessPal for if you've not used it before and how to kind of use it effectively and easily. So firstly, we're going to go through the simple bit of just adding your food in general. For this, we come into the food section. If you're on your phone, it'll be in your diary, food diary. Come down to add food, click on the add food sign. Now we've got a couple of ways we can do this. On your phone there will be a barcode scanner, so you can just click the little barcode symbol will be next to just the search bar. You can click that, you can hold it up next to the barcode of the things that you're eating, and hopefully it will come up with accurate calories. Technology, eh? Sometimes it is worth noting that they don't actually come up accurately. So we have to remember that this is a database where loads of people enter in information. We could add something in there now that someone else would use. It doesn't necessarily mean we've put the right information in. So sometimes they will be a little bit out. So it's always worth, before you add it, just cross-referencing it with the information on the actual package itself and what you're seeing on MyFitnessPal. Once you've done that once, it will come up in your frequent items, your frequent food items or your recent food items. So you'll then be able to just pick it from there. You won't have to search it every time. If you do not have a barcode scanner, we can just search the food item. So let's say we've had some carrots. We can search carrots. Don't ask me why I chose carrots. And then we can search down the list. Now, when you actually look on your phone, loads and loads of options are going to come up for one thing you write in. Your job is to kind of, if you have no clue how many calories are in there, your job is kind of just to look through and see where that average kind of calorie is falling. Now, temptation is going to be to choose the lowest possible calories. Don't do that. We know that's kind of setting ourselves up for failure, and we've still consumed them calories. So what we want to do maybe is go onto USDA. We could possibly type it into either MyFitnessPal or type it into Google, USDA carrots, and it will come up with a pretty accurate representation. But if we're going to pick something in here, we could go on to this first one. It's got the little green tick, so we know it's probably got a good chance of being pretty right. And now what I'm doing from here is I'm searching for ones that come up with a 1 gram option. They're usually easiest to do because there's not many people that weigh their carrots out in cups. So what we're going to do instead is take the 1 gram bit, and then the number of servings is going to be the number of grams that we have. So if we have 50 grams, we're just going to put in 50 servings, and then we add this to the food diary. Okay, so then this will come up in here. If we need to get rid of it at any stage, we just push this little red bit over at the side there, or if you're on your phone, you can just swipe it off the screen. I will just add one other key factor in there, that majority of the time I would try to search raw weights of food. So for instance, chicken breast raw, I would type that in, and then I would find the raw weight, because obviously the cooked and the raw weights are going to be very different, and the amount of calories from them are going to be very different. So just make sure you're searching for what you have. Generally speaking, I find it much easier to weigh in raw. If you have to weigh in cooked, it's not the end of the world, but the variables do change slightly. So just kind of make sure that you're searching out whatever way your food is cooked, basically. And then from there as well, this database will not have whole food items. So if you have, let's say, a cheese and ham sandwich, this database will not come up with your cheese and ham sandwich. It will come up with cheese and ham sandwiches, unfortunately, but not your one. So again, it's either going to be a barcode scanner, or if you've made it yourself, it's just weighing out the cheese, how much ham did you have, and what bread did you use, and searching all of those individual items. Now we can also head into recipes. So if we're doing things like batch cooking, or if we're cooking for the family, we can go into here, we can go down to enter new recipe. It looks slightly different on your phone, but it'll still be pretty much the same. We can put in the recipe name if it's something we're going to want to use all the time. So let's go down to add ingredients, and then from there we can basically search out all the individual ingredients of that dish. Let's say we're using 100 grams of mince, 100 grams of carrots, and whatever else. Chuck it all into one, and then from there we can just section out how many or how much of the portion size that we did have. So if we say that that portion there is going to serve 4 people and we put in that we had 1 portion of it, then it's going to be like we had a quarter of the overall dish, which can come in handy for if you're batch cooking for the week and if you're sitting down and eating or you're cooking for the family. Now, to simplify things a little bit further, we can go into settings and go down to here where it says meal names. Again, it will look slightly different on your phone, but go down to where it says meal names, and we can change the meal names or the number of meals we're having for what we actually are set or what we've set for ourselves with your coach. So if you've set yourself 4 meals a day, just open up 4 columns. We can use those. If you want a pre-workout meal, if you want a post-workout meal, we can keep them the same. The good thing about doing this means that when you do come onto your food diary, the recent food items, so if we go into like add food in here, the ones that come up frequent and recent will be individual to that meal. So if you're always using the similar sort of thing for a post-workout meal, it'll always come up in there. Last but not least on this little bit, you can also, when you're on the individual meals, turn your phone, I won't do it with my laptop, I'll probably break it, but turn your phone sideways. And if you turn your phone sideways, it will come up with protein, carbs and fats for the individual meal along the top as well. Okay, so you don't always have to go into the nutritional overview bit. You can actually just turn the screen, rotate on your phone, turn your phone sideways and have a look through there. If you go into settings, again it will look a little bit different on your phone, but click settings and then go down to goals. This is where you'll be able to, you've probably already entered in your information, but it's where you can set things like how much activity you do and what your actual overall goal is. What I would suggest is set this to maintain your weight, even though we know you probably don't want to. If you set this to maintain your weight, it means that MyFitnessPal over time won't start dropping your calories pretty savagely whenever it deems fit. We're obviously just going to use this as a tracker. We're not worried about the actual nutritional information that they give us. So come down to here, set maintain weight. So one big key element that MyFitnessPal is really good for and is really, really useful for being successful at your diet is to track ahead of time. So instead of tracking when you're at the meal itself or tracking post-meal when the food's already been consumed, track ahead of time, put all the food items in that you want to have. What you can do from here is you can start to make small little tweaks that you might not normally make. So if you have a look and you've put in meal 1, you've added all your food items in there, you've turned your phone sideways and you've seen that that meal only actually contains 20 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, and well, let's just do calories. We'll say 20 grams of protein and 500 calories. That's okay, but maybe you're aiming to hit a little bit more protein in the day. So what we can do is take down some of the higher calorie items that don't involve protein and then just push some of those calories towards protein. Doesn't mean we have to take them all out together, just means we might want to reduce the quantities of certain items and increase the quantities of others. And then this is a nice easy way for you to first off get into being able to nail your protein target whilst still having some fun along the way.